I am an earthling from a civilized society. This was the mantra I repeated whenever I had a moment. I am from a civilized society. Cough, cough. If I hadn't kept reminding myself of that, I might have gone mad. Oh dear, Mr. Seo. My mother sent this for you. Thank you. Not at all. Please get well soon and make some more soap. The daughter of the Jew family next door places a basket of boiled potatoes beside me and hurries back to her house. 50 years. It's been 50 years since I fell into this cursed world. Cough, cough, I lie down, coughing. Yes, it was the day we were going to a company workshop. I was on my way to the workshop with Director Kim and other company employees. We were swept away in a landslide, and when we came to our senses, we found ourselves in a strange world. A fox as big as a house with 3 tails, a large red-scaled snake with 2 heads, and beings wielding swords, flying through the sky. It was a world like the martial arts novels I occasionally read. Although it was a strange world, we adapted well. Most of my colleagues probably did quite well, except for me. Director Kim, Chief O, Section Chief John, Deputy Manager Kang, Deputy Manager O, and Manager Kim, who were in the same car. The sage-like beings who descended from above were in awe of my colleagues' talent and took each of them to the sky. Director Kim and I were amazed by these fateful encounters and special privileges from another world. We too were left behind, hoping that something similar would happen to us. But neither Director Kim nor I gained any special roots or unique abilities. In the end, without knowing anything about the situation in this world of martial arts, the two of us worked menial jobs in the marketplace for 6 months. And on the 6th month, Director Kim couldn't stand living like that anymore, spent all his savings on a third-rate martial arts skill for physical strength, and learned it. In 3 months, he mastered the martial art and became a martial artist. After becoming a martial artist, Director Kim worked at a courier service, learning more advanced martial arts, and quickly became a powerful warrior, leaving for the martial world. Leaving me behind. I too hoped that maybe I would have some fateful encounter. Discover hidden talents, awaken a unique ability, or develop a special spiritual root. I lived in this world with that small hope, but 10 years passed, 20 years passed. Nothing happened to me. 40 years passed. 50 years passed. Cough, cough, I'm just an old man dying of a cold. I am from Earth. Now, just so I don't forget that I'm an earthling, I babble to the air. For 50 years in this world, I learned the language, learned to read and write, worked as a laborer, and barely managed to settle down. Made a living by making soap from lye. The soap was useful for the people of this world, which wasn't much different from medieval China, but after some thieves stole the method of making my soap and started producing their own, my soap barely sold anymore. So in addition to making soap, I had to take on all sorts of odd jobs to survive in this world, and now I am an old man waiting for my death, rejected by this world. In this world, I did my best, but this world denied all my efforts. What do you want from me? I shed tears of injustice, sniffling softly on my bed. It's winter today. I'm sick with a cold. My body is as weak as it can be. My eyes are closing. If only I had more opportunities, even just a little. In the cold winter, I lie in bed, sick with a cold, ending my persistent life of 50 years. Suddenly a light flashed before my eyes. Cough! Huff! I open my eyes and hastily get up. I can clearly feel it. The moment I closed my eyes and lay on the bed, slipping into darkness. The moment when the life in my body grew cold and passed away. I had died. But why? Am I alive? Startled, even as I speak, I'm surprised for a moment. This voice. I slowly look down at my body. It isn't a handful of wrinkles and lines. It's a young hand full of vitality and life. I'm wearing something clearly different from the clothes of this world. The blue shirt and sweatpants I had worn on Earth. I look around, trying to grasp the situation. Oh my Duya. What's happening? Where am I? Director Kim, Chief O, Section Chief John, Deputy Manager Kang, Deputy Manager O, Manager Kim. They all were startled. I realized I've returned to the past, and at the same time, I know I hadn't come to this world without any abilities. I have awakened the ability to regress. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. What's happening? We were just on our way to a workshop. Director Kim, with half his hair scraped off, looks around and stands up. I try to recall my memories, figuring out where we were in time. The first day, It's the first day we landed in this bizarre world. I remember how we ended up here. We were in an SUV going to the workshop, then a landslide. We got caught in a landslide, and then something flashed suddenly. It's a 50-year-old memory, so it's a bit hazy. I can't remember clearly. Hey, Deputy Manager Seo. Now that I've regressed, how should I live? Deputy Manager Seo. Usually, in regression novels, people live well using their future knowledge. But all I know about the future is how to make soap. Seo Eun-hyun, Deputy Manager. Ah, Section Chief John. Sorry, I was a bit startled. I snap out of my daydream at Section Chief John Myung-hoon's shouting. Suddenly, Section Chief John slaps me across the face. Deputy Manager Seo, you bastard, didn't you drive the car properly? You almost killed us all. I stand there dazed. Having been slapped, I had forgotten. This guy is a bastard. You bastard. It's because of you that we're in this mess, this bastard. Do you want to lose your job the moment we get back? Section Chief John Myung-hoon asked me, John Myung-hoon. The nephew of John Myung-chol, the executive director of the company I worked for, SJD Company. He's 32, 3 years older than me, but had already snagged the section chief position through nepotism. I remember disliking him quite a bit 50 years ago. When John Myung-hoon is about to charge at me in anger, Chief O stands up and stops him. Look here, that's enough. That landslide wasn't something Deputy Manager Seo could have done anything about. I remember that incident from 50 years ago. Yes, I was definitely assigned the role of driving the company SUV. Aren't you angry, Chief? Because of this jerk Deputy Manager Seo, we're in this disaster. Where are we now, and where did our SUV go? We're stranded here because of this guy. And then I remember. I definitely dozed off while driving. But the reason I was dozing off was John Myung-hoon. That guy dumped work on me the day before the workshop. Work he had been putting off, forcing me to stay up all night. If you were going to doze off, you should have handed the wheel to someone else. What kind of mess is this? Thinking about it again. Wasn't John Myung-hoon originally the one in charge of driving? That's right. Originally, John Myung-hoon was supposed to drive. That's right. Originally, John Myung-hoon was supposed to drive. But he, wanting to hit on the female employees in the back seat, forcibly put me in the driver's seat. The memories from 50 years ago are coming back clearly. Back then, I was so flustered and didn't understand what was happening. So, unwittingly, I apologized to John Myung-hoon. I even thought it was my fault. But looking back on that memory from 50 years ago, I think it was unnecessary for me to apologize to him. In the long 50 years, I learned many things. I take a deep breath. In the life where I didn't know about regression, for 50 years, I learned how to endure while living tenaciously. Learning to endure when strong bandits trampled over me and took my money. Learning to endure when vicious martial artists insulted me. Learning to endure when local officials took everything I had, even things I didn't have, to collect taxes. Yes, in front of those I couldn't handle, enduring was the truth. However, for those whom I can handle, it is a different matter. Bowing down unnecessarily in front of those I can handle is not what a man does. I learned that too. I stood up and called Chief John Myung-hoon and said, I know you are mad, but it isn't the time to be pointing fingers. Chief John Myung-hoon, who heard this, was enraged and charged at me and strikes at my face when he hit me. I fought back. I also gave him a punch to his face. Others who saw this was shocked at that time. I recalled the incidents of in my past life. How many times have I been beaten by martial artists? How many times have I been beaten while gathering herbs in the mountains and encountering bandits? How many times have I been beaten when a band of robbers invaded during a famine? Beaten, beaten, and beaten again. During that senseless violence, I learned something that John Myung-hoon and others didn't have. As soon as the first headbutt connects, I charged and mercilessly pummeled John Myung-hoon and repeatedly beat him. Others who saw this was shocked and was frightened in that world of violence. I learned how to make people fear you. When you hit someone in the face, the person being hit feels an immense sense of fear. The sight obscured by a fist and the pain that follows in that moment, the terror of the merciless attacker. I punch around the eyes of John Myung-hoon to obscure his vision. If you don't know what you did wrong, at least keep your mouth shut. After being hit by me for a long time, only 2 words came out of his mouth. It was an apology. With every punch, the grudges I have against Jeon Myung-hoon without even realizing it seem to be refreshingly resolved. At that time, I thought, even though I don't have any mythical talent or amazing martial arts skills that would make me famous worldwide, I have the skill to change the fate. Will our protagonist be able to change his fate successfully with the ability to regress? Let's look forward to it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. After hearing the apology from Chief Jeon Myung-hoon, I stopped beating him. As soon as I stopped beating him, I looked around. Director Kim, Chief O, Deputy Manager Kang, Deputy Manager O, Manager Kim. Everyone is looking at me with fearful eyes. Among them, Director Kim speaks to me with a trembling voice. Deputy Manager Seo, no matter what, beating a fellow colleague to that extent. Before he could say more, I said, "Yes, you're right. I'm sorry." But I was so angry at the moment. I apologize for startling everyone. And after all, I was the driver, so I apologize for not doing more at that time. I bow neatly to Director Kim and the other employees and apologize. After hearing my apology, Director Kim asked me to apologize to Chief Jeon Myung-hoon directly. In fact, except for Director Kim, I will see none of the other people again. But Director Kim and I will stay together. Director Kim, if you learn martial arts, you will reach the pinnacle of the world. Of course, only in the world of martial arts. If I actively support Director Kim, maybe some benefits will fall to me. To do so, I need to be good to him from now on. After bowing to Director Kim again, I helped Section Chief John to get up and said, "I'm sorry, Section Chief John. I was too harsh. I truly apologize. You son of a..." As I show humility again, Jeon Myung-hoon, who seems to have regained his spirit, glares at me. But as my eyes turn fiercely cold, he eventually avoids my gaze and shuts his mouth. Anyway, it looks like a forest for now. How about we walk out and find a nearby village? Director Kim looks around and suggests. The sky is dyed crimson, looking like the sun would set soon, and the wind is getting colder. Logically, Director Kim's words make sense. However, common sense has no place in this world. Immortals fly wild and try to secure their immortality. And the only rule that exists in this world is the strong devour the weak, and the people of this place will fight against each other for wealth and glory. That is this world, and the forest we have fallen into. I recall the memories from 50 years ago and think of the name of the forest. Ascension Path, ascending to immortality. It's said to be the best place for many demons and cultivators to ascend to immortality, a place where the spiritual energy of heaven and earth gathers the most. There are no villages, cities, or states near Ascension Path. Therefore, what Director Kim is trying to do is meaningless. After thinking this, I said to Director Kim, "The sun is setting soon. How about we set up a shelter somewhere safe?" After hearing this, Director Kim says, "You are right." Chief Jeon Myung-hoon, who heard this, says, "What about our car?" He asks, "There are a lot of things in the car. We packed." When I heard this question from Chief Jeon Myung-hoon, I didn't refuse searching for it. However, the car is gone, even though I know the car is lost and it won't be found. It only suggested splitting into two teams. One team searching for the car and the searching for a shelter. Of course, I know because I returned to the past, but they wouldn't believe me if I said the car is gone. Instead of draining my energy trying to convince them, it's better to just let them look. Then let's split into teams. One team will look for a place to stay, and another team will look for the car. Let's meet back here before the sun completely sets. I suggested. After acting like searching for a shelter, I went to the cave I found naturally in my previous life. My colleagues took it as my great luck, however, it inevitable. Then we prepared for the night, and at night, we light a fire in the V cave and sit around it. While sitting around the fire, a female colleague raised a question about how she couldn't understand why they were safe, and the car was gone, even though the car and they were in the same landslide. Director Kim, who also heard this, raised the same question at a time. Another female colleague was enthusiastically eating a fruit, I gathered, praising its taste. After hearing this, the tense atmosphere became somewhat relaxed, and I replied to, "I have plenty of them. Everyone can have as much as you want." Watching this, Director Kim and Deputy Manager O start eating the berries I had picked. Deputy Manager Kang and Chief O also happily ate them. After eating them, Director Kim praised me for some time. Only Jun Myung-hoon looks at the berries with displeasure and lies down first, claiming he's tired. Haha, this is something we should be grateful about. Even though we are in a serious situation, thanks to Deputy Manager Seo, we're having a good time. Director Kim said to everyone, I always knew from the company how diligent he is. I heard he was tired from driving because he worked the night shift the day before. After hearing this, my colleagues one after another started praising me. Our deputy manager is really diligent. Ah, thanks to Deputy Manager Seo, it feels like we're camping. Indeed. We all spend the night in a lively and friendly atmosphere. I too laugh heartily, chatting with my colleagues. It's a night to laugh and chat because it might be our last. I thought, moment together. The next morning. As soon as I smell the dawn air, I wake up earlier than anyone else. Memories from 50 years ago begin to come back vividly. The first day, after wandering through the forest all night, we barely found the cave and collapsed. The next morning, it came. Despite 50 years passing, the fear, shock, and pain from that time is still vividly terrifying. I open the windbreak outside the cave and start heading out. It's just before dawn. I wander nearby, gathering herbs good for stopping pain and bleeding. The herbs are in incredible condition, thanks to the forest full with energy from the heaven and earth spiritual energy. These are more like spiritual herbs than just medicinal ones. And after a while, the owner of this territory arrives with a leap, a creature as big as a house, with 3 tails and eyes burning with blue fire. It's a white-furred fox. Shiver. The intimidation of the forest's owner and the events from 50 years ago make my body tremble. I stutter, biting my trembling lips, and slowly bow to the fox. Once, twice, 3 times. It's the triple bow required when meeting the owner of the forest. The fox, as large as a 2-story house, looks at me with its fiery blue eyes and speaks, a unique scent from a human. In my thousands of years, I've never encountered a human with such a scent. I tremble in anticipation of what this monstrous fox might do. The noise created by the fox wakes up my colleagues. They all were terrified of the fox. Everyone, show respect to the owner of the forest. Don't just stand there. Kneel down, I shouted to everyone. At that time, the monstrous fox rolls its large eyes in displeasure. You humans always seem to possess pitiful intelligence and terrible rudeness. Normally, I would tear off 1 limb from each of you. But since one of you knows how to respect the owner of the forest, I will forgive you. The monstrous fox's gaze falls on me, who had knelt and respectfully bowed. As I shout to kneel down, the others blankly stand there and then terrifyingly kneel down to the fox like me. The fox's eyes meet mine. A human who knows respect. I will not punish you hastily, but you must pay the price for being in my territory, and one of you shall offer your hands to me. When I heard this question, I was relieved because in my past life, when everyone saw this monster and screamed in panic, we all almost ended up dead, having angered the fox. But it seems like the fox appreciates my manners this time. Now, who will give me their arm? The fox impatiently asks. Even though the fox asks this question, I was still in my thoughts and was feeling better because it's not all our limbs like last time. Just one person's arm, and that's all we need to sacrifice. Even a lost arm will be healed by the cultivators who'll appear 2 days later. Plus, I've already prepared an herb that'll reduce the pain after considering the pros and cons. I said I will sacrifice my arm. The fox who heard this was very happy and took a bite of my arm. All of my colleagues were terrified and disgusted by the scene. After the fox took part of my arm, I looked for the herb and swallowed it, crying. Later, the fox that swallowed my entire arm licks its lips with its tongue. I thought it might taste different because of its unique scent. Turns out, it's not much different from ordinary humans. There's a lot of impurities in the blood vessels, making it rough and leaving a bad aftertaste. I offer this humble tribute. I accept your tribute and permit you to stay in my territory for 7 nights. My divine power has infused you, so you shall not die from this wound. After saying so, the fox leaps away and disappears into the forest. After the flyaway to the forest, all of my colleagues hastily runs, and to me, and was going to ask about my health. However, before they could ask anything, I asked them to stop their conversation outside of the cave and to take me inside of the cave, Supported by the two, I returned to the cave. Then I mixed truth and lies to tell them what happened. I pretend the knowledge I already have was what the fox had taught me. This is not the world we used to live in, but a completely different one, inhabited by immortals, cultivators, and martial artists. And this world is also known as Murim. Anyway, the owner of this forest demanded a tribute to allow us to stay here temporarily, so I offered my arm. This should keep us safe in the forest for a week. After hearing 1 week, they all asked together, "A week? What happens after a week?" I replied them. "After that, we'll have to offer another tribute." After saying this, I felt asleep due to pain and fatigue. When I woke up, I heard the argument between my colleagues about who will offer their arm as the offering for the fox. At that time, Section Chief Seo Eun-hyun was suggesting to sacrifice my other arm as the next sacrifice for the fox. Will our protagonist be betrayed by his colleagues and used as the sacrifice for the fox? Let's look forward to it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.